You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Well, what I mean, this is your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. You know what it is? We're going to bring you that indie goodness today, baby, that has flavor and spice all over the place. And what I mean, it's comics, it's music, it's everything. It's geek culture, baby. Let me introduce the co-creator of this amazing Kickstarter project that is live right now, Besides Comic, baby, Volume 1. Let me introduce the one, the only, it's Nick Butterworth, baby. How you doing? And it's my man Frozen.
I have lost all sound. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 minute. I don't know what's going on. What has happened to me, man? Give me a second.
How dare my man miss such a glorious
Jeez,
intro.
hang on a sec.
So while we wait for him, I'm not going to redo the intro. You know, he is already. We're going to wait for him to fix his computer because apparently Al Mega's voice has caused waves in frequency electromagnetic blackouts in the United Kingdom, where he is hailing from right now. So let's see what, we'll get him back in a moment, folks. But again, this is a fire project that involves all our favorite things, inspired by music and film. So I can't wait until we dig into this amazing project. It's a beautiful looking book as well. I mean, color-wise and all. I can't wait to get into this. I'm gonna say, if you're a fan of guerrilla style artwork and color and that vibrancy, I think this is right up your alley, baby. So we're gonna give our man Nick a moment to come back. But other than that, while we wait for him, you know what it is. You got to check out Max and the family from the Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes Podcast Network. I have amazing people such as Johnny Hughes, Buddy Young, Lucas Fashino, Chitlins, Steve Sellers, Jeff Tracy, Nemesis, Antonio Maps, Chris Ford, Thomas Holmes, Whoa, Comic Kingsville, Kickstarter 2, baby. We have an amazing team. Lance Lucero, so many. Freya, that's right, K-pop queen right there. Woo. Check out all our amazing podcasts. We got a dope shows dropping this week. No Prize Podcast, a new show dropping this week. We got K-pop Cosmos going to be dropping a new show this week. And of course, everyone's favorite, the Old Times Comic Book Show, where the comic books and the host now. Yeah, all right. Keep thinking that, fellas. I'm just kidding. Much love. It's an amazing show. You gotta check them out because the discussions are fire. All right. Hey, we got the man right here, Jay Corso, the Flattown Gazette. That's right. We're waiting for our man Nick. He has some audio problems, so hopefully he'll be on back in one moment so we can look at his project real quick. Should I give a teaser? Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll show you his website real quick. Put that on the stage. But check it out, folks. I mean, that's the website. I mean, why I mentioned gorillas. Am I lying? Look at that color style, right? And even the art. I mean, look. All right, artsy. And look at home. Is that Kitty on a skateboard? Oh shit! Check it out, folks. This is the project we're going to be talking about in a moment, as soon as Nick is able to hopefully come back and discuss it. But of course, what you guys getting into? It's Thanksgiving week, so thank you guys for always being supportive of the Comic Crusaders network, the podcast, the website, and of course everyone in my amazing family members on the team and their reviews. Again, check it out, comiccrusaders.shop. We keep it real, non-paid for reviews, folks. If you're a creator out there, has a project, hit us up. We're more than happy to celebrate you and share your project with the world, through our channels, through our podcast. This is what we're here for. We're here to celebrate the independent community. So please feel free to hit us up on our socials. If we have something going on, it'll be more than our pleasure to assist in any shape, way, or form. I've heard horror stories from creators of websites that again charge for reviews and also ask for physical media, this, that, the other. I mean, again, if you're in support of creators, do you not understand their plight, that they're trying to come up? Not many of them have money. They ain't got their stuff going on. And you're going to go ahead and try to like hit them on the side like that and dent their pocket that much more. I mean, you guys have alternate ways of making revenue that is outside of having to hurt these creators' opportunities. You know what I mean? And again, just the honor of having them on, you never know where they're going to be in the future. For me, it's shit. For me to be able to maybe share a story one day, if I one of these amazing independent creators probably got the next hit movie. Amazing. I've seen amazing growth for some of the creators that I've spoken to in the past several years. So I'm proud of that. I was part of that story and I got able to talk to them, before they even made it big. And hopefully they remember that and come back. You know what it is. So Nick, where you at? Me. Let's talk about this B-Sides comic that is live right now on Kickstarter. Give you a little tease right here and bring that page up on screen for a moment. But there it goes. You see that the project right now has 16 days to go with 69 backers, right? The project has $2,800 currently, but they're seeking a $3,121 goal. So, I mean, they're not far off. We're almost there, baby. We have a couple of paydays to go. And, I would hit press play, but not just yet. Going to give my man Nick a moment to reboot his possibly Apple computer, because that's how they react, on StreamYard. Apple don't know what's good, man. What's up? Allegedly. I want to get them to be on my ass talking some shit now. But at least in my opinion. Anyway, we'll be able to talk about the project in a moment. So I wish I could play some music or something, but YouTube be spanking you for all that stuff. So I can't do that. All right. But of course, there may be a big shout out to the person that helped us put this together today. This wonderful interview. Hopefully he comes back. Don't Hype PR again. If you're a creator, check out Don't Hype PR. They're a wonderful marketing agency, publicist that definitely, I think, get you on the right lane to get your project out there. All right. So a big shout out to the CEO, Mel. Thank you for hooking us up today. And hopefully he comes right back. Again, across the pond, internet issues. Who knows if the sharks maybe bit into a cable? Shit happens, yo. This is life right here. Especially when we're live. Isn't it a wonderful thing? Of course, you could check out the video. You can follow me, The Real Omega. Check out our podcast, our website, everything. It's just very simple. The Real Omega or Comic Crusaders or Undercover Capes. Right, we appreciate you, and again, very thankful of your support of the channels. Throughout this time, I've been doing this for a while now, and let's see our growth. And of course, that's all contributed to your support and your viewings and your commentary. So again, in gratitude, thank you guys so much. Definitely do appreciate that. As you see, I never ask for money like other folks do. And when the time comes, right, I may need help. Hopefully, you guys come in, but. Right now, thank you guys. I think we have him back. Does the man have audio now?
Am I back?
I hear you. Do you?
I am back.
Hear? Oh, shit.
I am so sorry.
There you go. Don't you
my
worry.
Mac chose a bad day to have a bad day.
Don't you worry. I gave people teasers about what we have going on. I was talking about just how the art that I'm looking at, on what we're about to show in a little bit, how it's so guerrilla-esque. The Jamie Howlett, right? I mean, I'm digging the color, the vibe. So I think you guys are on something. And you're on mute, by the way, so you know.
I'm back. Okay, thank you.
There we go. So thank you, guys. This is Nick Butterworth. I gave him an amazing intro. You're going to have to rewind on that, Nick. And then you're going to be like, God damn it, I didn't hear that. Yep, you didn't hear that. How dare you? But, thank you for joining us today to talk about your amazing project, the B-Sides comic, which is live on Kickstarter, as I've been telling people. I mean, I also showed them where the goal is at, where we're at. And I just teased them with the video image because I had mentioned gorillas, because I'm a big fan of gorillas and that artwork and Jamie. So I was like, all right,
sure.
you got something that looks fire here. So we're going to get all into this. told them a little bit that you are from the UK and that probably a shark bit into the internet cable, but thankfully that's not what happened, right? So,
well, thank you for holding it down for 10 minutes while my Mac figured out how to get back online. So appreciate you.
I was just looking like the Puerto Rican Jerry Lewis doing the telethon, just supporting my fam. All right, so let's get it done, Big Nick. You're from the UK, which I mentioned. Where in the UK exactly are you from? And the most important question I love to ask people: what was the first thing in fandom that you ever fell in love with?
Oh, what a great question. So start with the UK. Originally from Manchester in the northwest, and then I moved down to London about, let's say, wow, that's going back away now. We're going back 16 years. Yeah, 16 years. So I've moved slightly further out. I've had kids. We don't live in the city anymore. We're out in the countryside, just south of London, about maybe 45 minutes south. So in the UK, that's a long way, but you know, to you you Bostonians and Massachusetts guys, that's like just what's that? That's you're even further from that to Boston, right? So you know,
I'm an hour away from this city. I'm 3 hours from New York. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Unless I'm driving, I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, and then fandom. It's a really interesting question. So we grew up with UK comics and subscriptions to like sort of the weekly kind of stuff that kids would get over here, and I don't know how well these brands travel at all, so I'm just telling you what we read. But the Beano was huge when I was a kid. Ooh. That was what we used to listen to. What we used to read. The Beano was everything. Yeah. So Dennis the Menace, the whole character of Dennis the Menace and the Bash Street Kids, that came from the Beano. That was the Beano. And then we had the Dandy, which these things started in the 30s, like 1930s.
In Spanish, it's El Dandy, but I've heard of it of the Dandy. But Beano, so just so you know, in America, that's related to an anti-fart pill now.
Brilliant. Love how we're crossing the cultural divide there. I love it. So yeah, so the Beano, exactly, and that'll be the inspiration for it, I'm sure.
Well, you know,
that appealed to kids all over the world. So yeah, that was it. That's what got most kids my age, and I'm hitting 40 now, so a lot of kids my age at my school would have read the same thing on the same day, like getting the subscription delivered to their house or picking it up from the local news agents. So yeah, we would be chewing through that once a week. And then like the longer form stuff didn't come till much later for me, and things like Batman, I'd actually pick that up from friends rather than getting it myself. And like just like the kind of groups of friends you'd fall into. So we had this kind of conversation as a team as well, and we all come from completely different influences, which I think is kind of why you get this real mash of cultures in B-sides as well. You know, we've really brought all these different inspirations into under one roof here, where you've got, okay, there's a spiritual home of LA and a sort of a nostalgic feel to how all that comes together, but it takes all these different things that we were all into at different points and different stages in our life, whether it's skating back from like the sort of inspiration of the Dogtown era of the 70s, or when like the youngins come through like me from the 90s and then start like taking that stuff on and having a different take on it, and the music scene of the 90s and all the sort of punk and actually a load of American influences came into my listening as well when I was a teenager. So like all this stuff starts to come in different ways, and as we start to evolve these characters. But right now we're just introducing their world, and you just get these little tones of surfing and of skateboarding, street culture in general. And it's just been awesome just to go back in time a little bit to those sort of moments in our lives when we were a little bit younger, a little bit carefree, and just want to explore that again.
You got me thinking back on my old school fucking Jinko jeans and the overalls and the Vans and all that good
stuff.
Vans. Hippies, remember? Holy shit, man. Like, wow.
Vans are everything.
The fashion was hot and it's coming back again now. So, if you kept anything, you might be cool again, Nick. What you wear?
Yeah, the brutal thing is like my kids could now just about like fit into my old gear as well. So I should have kept it. But,
oh man, everybody got the same style. Yeah, then I see your pops wearing that.
That's it. Yeah, I could have kept the cred with the kids, but no, it's all gone. It's all gone. They've got to buy it all over again from the vintage stores that took it like 20 years
I
ago.
love how they talk about that now too. Vintage. Oh man, yeah, this is vintage clothes. No, they're not. They're used clothes that you're selling. Stop bullshitting me.
I wasn't even that young when I wore them. That's the hard part for me now. It's come around full circle, and I wasn't that young when I first wore them. On the first go round, first trip was
Too funny.
Still feels like yesterday.
So talk to me about your creative journey. How did you start getting all creative? When did that happen? When did the spark happen? Why did it happen?
Very recently for me, actually. I've spent a whole career and life of not being creative. I guess there's always been little tones in the background, but as a professional career, I've not been creative, and I've got pulled into a world that I've loved, but I don't have a long and rich history of this. In fact, a lot of us in the team are new to the world of comics and creative expression generally. So we all come from different places. In my story, I came from a world of finance for 20 years, working as a 9-to-5 office accountant in various different places. I did it in a way that made it interesting to me. Like we spoke backstage, and I was talking to you about my love for sports. Yeah. And I grew up playing sports and listening to music, and I kind of followed that in my career. So I ended up working for sports teams, music venues, and just tried to make the world that I slipped into that wasn't very creative as entertaining and as creative as possible.
Hey man, but you get the hookup, the connections, the networking. I mean, that's the right way, baby. And listen, use that brain. Fuck that shit. I got you. I love it.
But this side of it has always been there. Like I can't write, and I'm so glad we've got a script writer that can do this for the comic. But I love writing. I love trying to express myself. I've tried at different points to just on my own time try and become a part-time journalist and start writing about things that matter to me. But it makes you realize just how much skill and gift these guys really do have. So particularly when we sit and see the output of what our lead artist Rich can do in 5 minutes with a sketch. I was saying to the guys, you could give me 3 weeks to come up with something that would be fucking shit compared to what Rich can draw in 10 minutes. And it's the gift that we have in this in life, right? We all come from different skills and different things. And my skill's been sort of like pulling teams together, creating companies and bringing them to life and making them work. But
I'm with you, Nick. I have an amazing team, and to see their growth in writing, and some have left me and have gone on to actually create projects and do things. So I'm like, wow. And they started with me. How awesome is that? I'm fucking proud of them. So I get you on that shit. Hell yeah, building amazing teams and, and just supporting them and, giving them the space to be free to create. That's the most beautiful thing you could give any creative person or someone just trying to step in. Like you said, hey, I wanted to be a journalist. Shit, if we would have crossed paths back in the day, you probably would have been writing for me. I would have accepted you. And then look, you would have been talking about this and it would have been great. But we do right now, baby. Everything would have come full circle. Anyway.
So, my story is that I quit my job back, when's that now? February last year. And
purposely quit your job?
Quit. Yeah, fully quit my professional career job. Yeah, gone.
Boy.
I couldn't get out of bed and do it. I couldn't face it. I didn't want to do it anymore. It was too repetitive. And I felt like I had no reason to turn up and give the best of myself to my work. I guess I was in a lucky position. Like I could afford to do that for a while, but I had a bit of time to think about what the kind of things I wanted to do. And then I got a chance meeting to be introduced to a couple of guys, a co-founder, Greg, who sadly isn't on the show today. He's just had surgery recently, so he's not joining us. But he
recover soon, homie. Hope you're watching.
I hope he's watching. He better be watching. And we just hit it off. We were pulled together because he needed some help with the company side of things. And actually, originally, I wasn't involved at all in the creative. And by and large, I do try and stay out of it because I realize my limits. There's certain things I'm really good at in life, and drawing and script writing and critiquing these things is not one of them. Now, I recognize great art when I see it, and I've certainly seen my share of it as this has come together. But mostly, I try and stay as silent as possible unless there's something that really needed to be said. Greg is a brilliant art director, great creative mind. The world of B-sides between the two of us is really tight in that we both see the vision of what we want from these characters the same way. So we both have the same ideas in our heads of how we want to express this, but he's so good at sort of like editing and just working with Rich on the art and working with Mike on the story and weaving the two together and just letting it all come to life. So yeah, you've got a good backdrop there, which is kind of like one of the real centerpieces of our world, the B-side bar. So we haven't talked about this yet, but this is Sidetown. It's an imagined part of LA, which is the backdrop to all our stories in B-sides. And volume 1 starts to explore some of these characters in just like surface detail. We're really going to start getting into them over the next few volumes and issues and months and years. But really right now, the hub and the sort of beating heart of everything starts with the bartender Gus and the world of the B-side bar, and everyone, all the regulars in there. We start to sort of get under the skin of what they're all about and the kind of lives that they explore and the things they take advantage of in their lives. So yeah, they're all interconnected. It's a really tight community. They're mainly a bunch of friends who come together, support each other, and are really just sort of expressing themselves as creatively as possible. It's a bit like our own journey, really, where we sort of think back to a time when
story.
Yeah, I think so. And there's a lot of that that's weaved in, particularly on Greg's side. And we really tried hard to simplify our lives and get back to that time in life when all we wanted to do was just hang out, skate, go to the park, go watch a show, go to a gig. And these characters are that energy,
I want to do that now. You know what, folks? Before we continue, check out the awesome trailer of the Kickstarter. So before I show off the amazing trailer, that's the link right there. Guess what? It's also below. All right. So make sure to click away and show some love and support this amazing project. Once you see this, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna be like, I want it. All right. An amazing Christmas gift for the comic book geek in your life. Come on now. Christmas is around the corner. A wonderful stocking stuffer. 16 days to go here, baby. Check out this amazing trailer right now. That looks so good.
Hey, what's going on? What do you got there, Gus?
It's a B-sides comp.
No way. So, what's the scoop?
We're in it, man. Check it out. We got Bodie, Nacho, Debs, Sheena, Open Mic. You and Sketch are in it too.
Hold up. What about the Riff Rats?
Yup. Crazy Riff Rats, their speakeasy bar and everything. They're all in there. Hey, there's some pop-up scenes as well. Look, I'm scanning Dex, Mike, and Nolan. They're in the booth over there deep in convo. What are they talking about?
Dude, my dreams are gnarly, man.
Yeah. Really?
I have a dream lot of I'm in a plane crash, and it's the same. It's going into a city.
Oh, man, we're in. So, where do we get this?
Only on Kickstarter.
Where pop, folks? You see it right there. This project is fire. You saw how dope that looking, right? Listen, folks, again, 16 days to go, 69 backers. A salute to you amazing supporters. What a wonderful number. And you're right there with a $3,100 goal. We're currently at $2,800. Ooh, so close, folks. We got paydays to go. We got bonuses coming. Don't give me no story, baby. You saw how dope that is. Listen, it's at 90%. Just 10% to go. Let's make it happen. Let's get into it, man. Fire looking book. That style, and listen, just the vibe I was getting, because I'm a fan of my stoner movies. It was giving me a little bit of a dazed and confused vibe within the folks right there. What's going on?
Nice. That's I love hearing that stuff. That's the kind of thing I want to hear. That's perfect. And I love that track. Like we've got permission to use that on our own stuff as well.
Oh,
UK artist Whitey, he's amazing. Stay on the Outside. What a track, and it works with all the stuff that we want to do.
make sure that that YouTube don't ding me if they say Omega, we could share in the monetization. All right, come on now.
Yeah. You come
Don't
see
ding
us.
me, bro.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's the vibe, right? That's exactly what I want to hear. You know, people will take this in different directions, and you know, we had some influences. We had some things in our heads. We've got some film references on the walls in the B-side bar. There's
Nice.
things from particularly the 90s films come back a lot. Like we've got a great reference to Falling Down, if you remember Falling Down.
Oh hell yeah! Fuck, I love that damn movie. Yeah, motherfucker had enough. You had enough.
It's there. It's there. We've got a poster in the bar. We've got a little reference to the scene outside the burger joint as well. It's just like there's little clips like that. There's little Easter eggs in there that just speak
Douglas
to.
is crazy in that movie.
Yeah, so it comes from loads of different inspirations like that. You know, whether it's music. Again, we've got a load of stuff in there around surfing and skate as well. Most of it though is about friendship. You know, these are just backdrops. These are just vehicles to tell the story, and it's really about guys who hang out, have fun. Things happen to them. They don't always work out, but you know, or certainly not work out how they expect them to. But they rally around each other.
What's the origin of the guys, though? Can you tell us a bit about that? How do they even get together, or it's just a group of homies from the same hood slinging tacos and music? I mean, damn. I mean, with a kitty that's like a badass too. What's going on with these cats, bro?
Yeah. So for the humans, we're holding back a little bit of how they all found themselves in Sidetown because they'll all have little different backstories. Some have grown up around there. Some have moved in because it's like the creative little corner, countercultural corner of LA. So people are drawn to it because it's a kind of like a rejection of the rat race. This area is about really just being authentic and expressing yourself. So some people are like drawn to it, particularly if it's people looking for rare records in the Sounds Good record store. We get some famous artists that roll through. Maybe it's their manager who does it for them because they can't be seen out in public or whatever it is. And we get these stories that really try and, you know, work around that. So we've got a few people who are, like I say, born from the area, but then the rats are the really interesting bit. So when we started this, we were focused on human characters. And then when we started showing people some of the early testing of the style and the world that we were going to introduce, like this sort of purple skin tone, eyes, all part of the sort of house style, if you like. We started putting these rats in the background as a way of really sort of making it feel quite grungy, like the whole area was a bit sort of a little run down, a little taken over by this. Yeah. And then people started picking out the rats and going, they're amazing. Like, what's going on? And suddenly more and more people were drawn to the rats. And then we sort of found ourselves leaning into describing a world that they inhabited. They were never originally intended to be a big feature of the story. And yet, as we've gone forwards, they've taken on a bit of a life of their own. And we've really written them into the world in a way that they get their own breathing space. So actually they're called the Riff Rats, and they're a whole subculture within Sidetown. They operate a speakeasy, which is under the floorboards of the B-side bar, and they've ripped a load of equipment from the bar, and they're just sitting under the bar in their own little space. They've got a little security camera to make sure that the humans don't ever find out about it, and they speak a different language. And there's a couple of humans that can speak their language, but we hold that secret to one of the stories in the first volume. So you got to go pick up a copy and check out how you learn to speak Riff Rat, because there's a real secret to it, which gets unlocked in our feature story called Pot of Gold. So we've really thought about how they influence the humans, because they've got their own world and their own scheme. And actually they're a much more functioning part of our society than I think you first realize when you see them just like running through the bins around the bar and just hanging out and getting up to no good. So really, there's a lot more going on there than first meets the eye too. So that was a real nice surprise, because we never really intended to make it about them, but they're just too cool to ignore.
But things happen, and let's talk about these covers, man. I mean, look at this. How did you build this team and get all this wonderful input and beautiful art? You know, again, it's just so colorful, it's vibrant. It definitely gives off energy. I like that.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, firstly, hats off to the art department. You know, we started out with a guy called David who really helped in the early runnings of the project, sketch out the style and the theme of the world and what the characters look like. And then he moved on to other stuff, and we ended up with Rich Ivans, who is a superstar. First comic book. He's done a ton of illustration and animation in his career, but this is his first comic book.
Ooh.
And he really just got the idea of what we were trying to create here, which was that vibrancy, exactly as you say, like color bursts all over the place. We really wanted to see this come to life in like neon and you know, really like, you know, just bounce off the page. So he really took that and ran with it. And what you've got here is the result of that. Now, the actual content of these covers is a story in itself. I think what we did was we led with some of the early art on social media. So we finished some pages and we started to release little segments of them, sharing that, getting some movement on our social media pages, particularly Insta. It's such a great place to put your art and have people, you know, vibe with it. And as soon as we started doing that, we started receiving DMs from people we never expected, whether it's people in comedy, people in art, people in just creatives, basically saying, hey, this is awesome. How, you know, and some people would say, how can I help? Can I get involved? And suddenly you've got a whole conversation going with a whole bunch of people who you've never met, but they want to see what they can do to take part or add something to it, which is, so it's been an amazing journey the last 12 months, just getting to know people in creative spaces who want to take part. So yeah, we ended up.
I mean, you got skateboard decks, you got jewelry, you got comics. I mean, what the heck, man? I mean, I ain't seen no project wild out like this. This is dope. And again,
yeah,
look,
it's ambitious.
Pages, fuck, bro. Look at that.
We've so the jewelry is another good one. So Kelly Onlychild is the jewelry artist from London, and she's got a real cult following. She has, some of her pieces have been worn by musicians, global artists, someone like Rita Ora from the UK, who's got some. So some real stars have worn her pieces, and she's got this sort of like cult classic following. And we're just lucky enough to know her and have an opportunity to, you know, reach out and say, hey, we're doing this. She said yes, amazing. Made this riff rap pendant for us that's based on B-sides. And as our way of saying thank you, we drew her in the comic. And she runs a pop-up store in Sounds Good. And her dog Chip are in the comic forever in comic form. And it's awesome. So like, we can't do much other than say thank you to her, but we just feel so lucky, man.
I love it. The rap moans.
Yeah. And that's when we meet Sheena and Deb. So that this is a couple. And these girls own Sounds Good, and we find out a load about their past and some of the famous people that they've run into over the years as well. So they've got some cool stories to tell.
Cool. So this is an anthology. We're getting a boatload of stories, huh?
Yeah. So we lead with one feature, which is like 40 pages, and then the rest is all little short snippets and bite-sized stuff, which just really opens up the door into the world of the rest of the characters. So we're not really getting into everybody in depth in volume 1. And in fact, one of the stories that we're leaving mostly for volume 2 and beyond is one called Open Mic. So Open Mic is called Open Mic because he runs an open mic night at the B-Sides bar, but he's also an oversharer. He talks too much. And he goes on and on and on. And he takes the stage for open mic night, and no one else gets on because he just talks and talks. And all the locals kind of expect this. Like they know him. He's harmless. They love him. But seriously, bring on the talent. And he always forgets to introduce the guys that he's booked for open mic night. and we lean into it for a few pages in volume 1, and then we just kick that through to the next few as well. So we start to layer these guys in over time.
Excellent. And folks, you get started as easy as £1 on this project. £1, folks. All right. Let's go. And look, about $7 American for a digital edition, for a PDF, right, of the B-Sides, volume 1. So how many pages are we talking in total about?
60.
60 pages. You hear this, folks? For about $7 in digital shit. That's a deal. Now, for 18, that's also a deal for that many pages. Hell yeah, for indie with no ads, right?
No ads. It's just going to be the print edition, and you get the PDF as well. So we'll throw in the PDF with that bundle. Yeah.
You hear that? So you didn't even got to open that beautiful book and smell the ink unless you have an addiction to ink. And again, no judgment here, folks. But you get that print edition, you could say 22% on the planned retail price. So you got to jump in. Then you have variant editions of it in print. So talk about these variants, building these teams. How much fun was that? How did you even select the covers?
Yeah, this was actually the hard part, was choosing the best images for the covers. So we have 5 special edition variant covers, all limited edition. We're going to do a print run during the so when the Kickstarter campaign finishes, we're going to do 1 print run to take the orders, probably have a few extra for giveaways and stuff like that, but they will be as rare and as limited as they are bought. So these are the really, if you're going to be a completionist in the future, these are the ones that you really want, because there will be very, very few of these long term. So what we did was we selected a bunch of art, but also we were talking about DMs and reaching out to people with partnerships. And what Greg and I did was we targeted a bunch of famous people, to be honest, celebrities and cool people that we wanted to pay tribute to in the process of coming up with these stories. So we got into skateboarders, we got into surfers, we got into musicians, and some of them said, yes, please draw me. And you have permission to use my B-sider on your comic cover. So we've been a bit tactical, where people have just reached out. So the main cover with Sheena and Debs outside their record store also has Devin the Dude, who's an unbelievable rapper. We've got Dustin Dollin on the BMX bike on the variant cover, who is a legendary skater from our history of loving skateboarding as well. Yeah. So we've got little cues and Easter eggs through each of these covers. We've got Revenge of in LA, who gave us the permission to use a pinball machine on the variant cover there as well. So those guys are there. And then we've got the guys from Third Wheel Comedy as well in the sort of black and blue cover with the fan. Yeah. And that's going to be quite a poignant one for us long term, because one of the characters there is voiced in the short animation stuff we do by Dex Carvey, who sadly passed last week. So if you've been in the news, you've got the story of Dex Carvey, who's been working with us right up until his passing. So we're still in a state of grief, thinking about how we pay tribute to Dex and how we take that forwards. But we will honor him, and he's on our cover forever. So we've got something to be proud of there.
Salute and my condolences, to the team, to the family. Always sad when somebody just wants us. So salute and my condolences.
Thank you. We've been thinking about his really close friends and family ever since, and we were lucky enough to know him for the last few months as he was providing not just voice acting for some of the characters, but acting as himself in some animation stuff too. So we got a really good, we developed a really beautiful relationship in the short time we had with him, and he's left a really incredible mark on the project. We all feel very energized to take this on and pay tribute to him as best we can.
I know how that feels. Let's go, baby! Show that tribute to the fallen homie, and a big salute for helping to create such a beautiful project. Yeah, what's this director's cut? What are we talking about here? Ooh.
Yeah, so we've got different reward tiers. We've got art prints. We've got posters. So in the director's cut, you're picking up artwork that goes with the original main cover comic. And then we go that little bit further where you can collect all 6 covers here. That's the collector's pack. So that's just nice. If you're going to be the kind of person that doesn't actually want to open those comics and just lay them down just in case we ever become famous one day, this is the pack for you. You're going to take away all 6.
Ain't no if. I think you guys are on the path to making it happen already, baby.
It's here. Go. Starts on Al's show right now.
Yeah, right now it's done, kiddo. It has been marked. It is now written. You crazy with stuff looking this beautiful from a new team? Shit. That's a lot of
appreciate
power
you.
in that, homie. I mean, look at it. And the decks too, how you guys are, paying homage to what you love. That's a listen.
Yeah.
Winners in my books. I see this project getting funded and a lot over. And talk about these decks and the design. These things look great. I used to board as a kiddo. Busted my ass many times, but hey, right? That's part of this journey.
Yeah. We want to. We want to get one of those official partnerships with Pal Peralta one day, like Metallica got. But we got to sell out a few more comics before we get to that point.
It's coming soon, folks. Coming soon by volume 3 or some joint when everybody knows. Don't you worry.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we've got 2 skateboard editions. So both skateboards tell a tale of a riff rat called Flipside, who skates and then meets his fate on the road. So you can choose either the flip side version or the evolution version there. And then we've got the Kelly Only Child pendant version as well down at the bottom. So, and then the final one, of course, how could I forget, where we haven't had any takers on this yet, but we will create your character and add them to the final pages that we've yet to draw for volume 1. So we are offering that to a very select few number of people, but we will draw you or a loved one, whoever you want.
10. That's actually a great listen. That's a Christmas gift. That is an amazing. Imagine you bring your loved one a comic book that's a fan, of course, and you say, "Yo, look who's in this comic book." Oh my God! Listen, they will do anything for you, ladies, men, whomever, everyone. Like, yo. This is the
it's a flex.
Your partner. Kids, that's the ultimate flex for real, yo. It's a flex and a half. Like, yo, everybody getting these stupid little things. I just made you legendary in a comic book.
Yeah, immortalized even. That's what we're saying. So we will get in touch with you.
Come out and they're popular, you never know.
We'll get in touch with you. You tell us what you want. We'll go back and forth on the design of that character, and they'll fit into the B-sides world. They'll look exactly like the rest of us, and it's yours. You just got to click buy.
My character design will be easy. Make me look young, but keep the white outline. Like,
for sure. We can work with you.
It's just, I'm not old. It's just I refuse to dye my hair, folks. That's all. I'm not gonna dye it. It's all right. Wisdom, folks.
But that style where we take away people's eyes creates a whole set of challenges. So you're great because you love a cat.
You got the Brooklyn look on all your characters. Are you from Brooklyn? Because this is how you got all your. I love it. That's 100%. That Jay-Z. That anytime somebody wears a hat like this, either one or two things is gonna happen. Either one or two things is going on. Either he's prepping to rob you, or they're just so high they don't want you to see their eyes.
And you might meet both of those guys in Sidetown in B-Sides comic as well. So, it's faithful, and
it should be some real deal. And folks, again, let me show you one last time with 16 days to go. We got the 69 baggers. I'm going to salute to you. $3,100 goal. We're at $2,800. We got those days to go. That's 2 paychecks. We got bonuses coming on. And again, look at all the different things you get. Dope variant covers. A chance to be in the book, which is, again, an amazing gift. But if you can't afford that, imagine putting, if you have a skateboarder in your life, a music fan in your life, a Gorillaz fan in your life, somebody that likes to slice of life, just want little something different. Because listen, everybody's complaining about superhero shit, right? So guess what? Show them like, yo, let me put you onto this. Volume 1, you're getting them on the start, baby. Start the journey. Make it happen with B-Sides, Volume 1. Show the support for my man, Nick Butterworth, and his amazing team. And again, a condolence to his fallen homie, and creator and the team. Again, rest in power, homie. And this book will get funded. Forget about it, all right? So, Nick, before we go today, any words of encouragement, positivity for anyone coming up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, we love the world of B-Sides, it feels like home, It takes us all back to a time when, nothing else mattered other than just hanging out and doing what we love the most. So everyone that's been involved in the project has really sort of understood that vibe and got it from the beginning. So you've got Mike London, our scriptwriter, Rich Ivans, our lead artist, and Greg Bourne, main creator, legend. He's the director of art. He pulls the whole strings together, and between us and the animator Fee as well, we're all just passionate about doing what we love best. And I'm just glad that we've been able to sort of pay small tributes to people that we know in real life as we've done this as well. You know, personalities that we've tried to explore in these fictional characters, but really they're based on real people. You know, we wanted to shine a light on creatives who just, like I say, they just reject the rat race and they just live their lives authentically. And I think that's what we've tried to do with Volume 1. And if we've got anything close to that, I'll be delighted. So I hope you can feel that by reading us cover to cover and sort of checking out the world.
Fantastic. And you need to get one of those caps just like that in that color. And the next podcast you do, just wear the hat like that the whole time.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to grow the beard right up here as well. I keep trimming it back down. It's going to come up to the eyes, you know.
All right. So, and this is my last joint right here. Are you, any cons left out there for you? Are you going to be making appearances at, or is that something you may be planning for next year?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try and do as much media like this during the campaign, and then we've got an in-store book launch of Volume 1 in London at Forbidden Planet, which is the largest indie store in the UK.
Let me know, man. My man Johnny Hughes is out there in the UK, and that's his shop. So let me know.
There you go.
Pass by and say hello.
So we've got an amazing quote from Forbidden Planet in the Kickstarter. So we've got some early, like big endorsement from some legends in the space, and we're going to launch a signing in store once we've got through Kickstarter, and then from that we'll see where it takes us. But I'd like to be at cons. I'd like to be going around, coming to LA as well. I mean, we can't write about LA and not hang out there and really
absolutely. You need
put
to
down
go eat
some
tacos and ride skateboards in the middle of LA. Get it done, bro.
Yeah, but
you got to have your beard up to here, though.
It's going to be up to here. The cap's going to be right down there, and I'm going to break my ankles. But it's about living your best life, right?
Yeah, well, let's go. You only got one to live. And folks, with that, please make sure to check out the website as I showed you. I was teasing those beautiful pieces of art at bsidescomic.com. Please follow them on X and Instagram at B-Sides Comic as well. But most importantly, the link is below. Support them on Kickstarter. 16 days ago, the project is B-Sides Comic issue number 1. Music, skateboarding, slice of life, homies chilling. I mean, if you like that vibe, I think this is for you. Like, again, look at that. Again, I gotta show you one more time. I gotta show you just one more time. I mean, look at that artwork. Shit, look how beautiful this book looks. If you love gorillas, even, that's what I'm saying. I see this and I see the vibrancy of that, the style. It's like, yo, I think if you're a fan of that, you really just gotta dig in. Also, I mean, look at these rats riding skateboards, riding better than me. Shit. And with that, I'm Omega with the amazing Nick Butterworth. Hasta la próxima. You know what it is. Much love.
Well.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercover.com. And also make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.